Peter. Welcome, Mr. Peter Peters. Congratulations on your wedding on Saturday. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
It's really an
Thank you
honor
so
to have
much.
you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I remember the first time I met you. That was like in 2018. I
Yeah.
went for a BitFXT conference in Enugu.
Yeah.
That was the first time I met you, and it was like super impactful. So, Mr. Franklin Peters is here to teach us on getting blockchain jobs. There's so much to learn from Mr. Peter. He has field experience from blockchain. He has a company that is called blockchain. Please get ready, tie your belt, your seat belt, and let's learn from Mr. Peter.
All right. Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you, everybody who is here right now. And Mr. Peter, my namesake, I joined quite late. I was having a podcast. I just finished a few minutes ago, and I rushed to join this one immediately. And the few stops I heard from you were right on point. I believe that every other person who have been listening before I came would actually go home with stocks from there. And yeah, I'm supposed to be having my honeymoon, right? And I'm here doing the Lord's work. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. One of the things that keeps me going is my passion of teaching people, helping people to get better. This is one thing that I have a huge, serious drive um, in. And today I'll be teaching on how you can get blockchain jobs. And it's quite an interesting topic because it's not I'm not teaching out of book knowledge. I'm teaching out of experience. And I don't know how long I have, Victoria.
Okay. Okay. Have 30 minutes and then 10 minutes for questions. So a total of 40 minutes.
Wow, that's quite some time. All right, so I'll try to do justice to that. And I like to teach um, really fast. I like to keep to time, so I'm even not exhaust the entire 40 minutes I have. So getting blockchain jobs. And I would like to pick a few things from what Mr. Peter said. And also, aside from that, the general theme for this session is value first, money next. I love that so much because it's the core and the crust of everything that has to do with making money, right? Value first, money next. So getting blockchain jobs, I'll start with value. What value do you have? How do you get this value? Um, Both within and outside blockchain ecosystem, value remains a constant. It doesn't matter what you do, value remains a constant. So, what is value? Value is that thing that's you know that thing that people would pay for. That value is that thing that makes you unique. Value is money, right? There is no money without value. What people pay for is value, right? Every time you make money, every time you have money in your wallet, every time you get paid, that money is not for you. You're not going to die with that money in your account. Or perhaps you are not going to die with that money in your wallet, in your purse. It's going to leave you the next moment, the next minute for another value that you have to pay for. So I want you to understand it this way. Every money you have is for someone else who has value that you're looking for. So you're looking for value in terms of barbing your hair. You want to barb your hair, it is value. Someone is going to offer it as a service to you, and it's valuable to you, and that's why you're going to take money off your pockets to pay the person, even if it is a non-verbal communication. I remember a situation, very funny one. I went to a barbing salon. I needed to barb my hair. I walked into the barbing salon. I did not say hello or hi to the barber. I went straight to the seats. I sat down. He put his clothes around my neck. He brought his clipper. He barbed me. And by the time he was done, I dipped my hand into my pocket and I paid him and I left. There was no hello, there was no hi, there was no communication, but service was exchanged and value was paid for, right? I didn't have to like the way he looked. I didn't need to like know him before then. I didn't have to as little as shake hands with him, but I didn't have a choice, right? I had to pay him because he offered me value. Same applies to when your shoe spoils and you see an aboki, and of course, whether you know his language or not, you have to pay him and he has to offer you service, right? So value does not respect language. I want you to note that. It doesn't respect your background. It doesn't respect your ethnic group. It doesn't respect your race. It doesn't respect your skin color. Value is value. And so if you are a Nigerian and you have something that is perceived as value by someone in US, the person would pay for that value. Matter of fact, the person will look for you. He will knock on your door because you have value. If you don't have value, nobody will look for you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody, you don't exist, right? The crux of our existence surrounds around the value that we offer, right? So that's, on that note, just need you to understand value, right? And the other thing I need you to understand is money. What is money? Money is not the cash you have in your bank account, correct? Money is not the money, the cash you have in your wallet. If not, the whole world would be using one particular denomination as money or one particular currency as money. Money is, funny enough, value. And I'll give you this instance. I like to use it. A guy woke up in the morning not having fadden, not having a kobo in his bank accounts, not having anything, any money with him, any cash with him. And, you can say that he woke up broke, right? And this guy, freshens up, walks down the street, opens his shop. And I like to say this guy is a barber. Opens a shop, walks into his shop, and he sits down. And 5 hours later, he walks home with money, with cash. What happened? He woke up broke. He woke up not having any funds with him, right? And then he went back home having some funds with him. It doesn't matter how much, but something happened. You see, it's not about how much he had in his bank account. It's about the value he could offer. That value brought the money. So can we say that the guy was broke in the morning? He was cash broke, but he was wealthy, right? The value he could offer brought him cash, brought him money, right? So there's a huge difference between him and Mr. B, who would wake up in the morning and be complaining, I don't have money. I don't have cash. The country is bad. There's no money anywhere. I can't eat food. And in the night, the guy goes home, goes to bed, broke. Same way. That's the actual broke guy. The other guy who had value to offer is not broke. This guy that has value to offer is wealthy. The only thing he needs to do now is, how do I galvanize, how do I optimize this value I have so that I can offer it to people that can pay me in tens of thousands of dollars, that can offer it to people that can pay me in hundreds of thousands of dollars, that I can offer it to people that can pay me in billions of dollars. Because every service, every value you have to offer, depending on how you package yourself, how you build yourself up, you can actually become wealthy with it, no matter how stupid it may look, right? So if you are solving a problem for $1 million person, he'll pay you millions of dollars. So you can imagine how much the guy that barbs Biden or Buhari makes, for each barb. It's not going to be the same amount he makes. You know, let me bring it down. The person that has a shop, a barber salon, I'm using this bad barber scenario because everybody here would understand better, right? So the amount, the person that has a shop, a motion, but a tattered shop that looks anyhow, you know, a motion is how much he makes, how much he would barb you. It's not the same amount the guy that has a shop in Lekki Phase 1 would charge. It's not the same amount the person in Dubai would charge. I'm not to make any undue content out of this, but the person that used to barb me in Dubai, right? I live in Dubai, and the person that barber is a Nigerian. He used to barb in Nigeria, but I used to pay him $100 equivalent for every barb, and I used to barb at least twice in a month, right? He comes for home service, he barbs me, I pay him somewhere around $100. That's currently 60 something thousand naira. For the same barb, I would do with the same guy in Nigeria. And if he tells me 5K, I'll ask Baba, make I pay you 3K now. You understand? Why? What changed? What changed is the environment, the packaging, the fact that it was home service. I'm considering his transportation. I'm considering that the level of living, or what do you call it, the amount he will spend, you understand, generally is not the same amount. What you will be paid as a developer in Nigeria is not what you'll be paid as a developer in some certain countries. Why am I saying all these things? I'm saying it to make sense to you that value is money. So when you say value first, money next, we're actually talking about value, money first, money next. Does that make sense? Because you're actually making yourself a moving money, right? In order to attract cash money. So let me not go too deep in that. I just wanted to make that water that ground, and then we'll move into careers in the blockchain space. Personally, I got into the space as an entrepreneur who loved so much to solve problems. The first solution I built on the internet was a blog. Wasn't so much of a solution, but for information dissemination. As far back as 2010, 29, I had this blog. I was doing stuff, made money from the blog. I couldn't cash it out because I had an issue using some cash out services back in the days, and the information, the notification I was getting from the blog platform was that their services was not yet available to people in my geographical zone, right? So I couldn't cash that money out. I remember, I had gone into okay, to cut the long story short, I learned about cryptocurrencies in 2014, got into it actively in 2015. When I was trying to buy my first set of Bitcoins, the platform I tried to buy it from, Coinbase, told me that their services was not yet available to people in my jurisdiction. So I couldn't buy with Coinbase. It was looking like a platform I could trust. That's why I chose it. But every other platform was really not looking cool to me. And I was forced into using a platform, a WhatsApp vendor. So someone chatted me up on WhatsApp one of the days and told me that he had some Bitcoins to sell. And I tried to subscribe to his service. I paid him for the first amount of Bitcoin I bought. He paid, I mean, he came through for me, right? And we started dealing. First transaction, second transactions, a few more transactions, and one day I wanted to buy a good chunk of Bitcoins, and I sent him the money. And I can't forget the name of this guy. His name is Ibrahim. I still have his phone number. This guy stopped picking my calls, stopped responding to my messages, and that was how I lost that money. It was painful, really, really painful. And I told myself that I saw value, right? I saw a problem that I could solve, and I knew that if you solve problems, you'll be paid for it, right? If you offer value to people, they will come for you. So I started researching how do I build out platforms that could help people to someone is trying to call my number, so let me tell the person immediately before the person messes up my session. Okay, so thank you for waiting. So I figured I could solve that problem, and I started researching. I remember, and this brings me back again to value first, money next, right? I started researching who can help me build a platform that could help people cash out their funds, help people to buy cryptocurrencies, help people to trade, all those kind of stuff. So I had to go online. I started searching for people in that category. Mind you, right? Like I said before, once you have value to offer, you don't need to do so much. Just put yourself out there and people will come to you. Do you understand? Once you have value to offer. When I needed to barb my hair, I I didn't need to care so much about the attitude of the person that was going to barb me. I didn't need to care so much of which tribe or the person's skin color, where the person came from. All I needed was, where is a barbing salon? Do you understand? And that money went to him, right? Like I said before, every money you make does not belong to you. That money belongs to the person that can offer you value for that money. And you keep working hard to make more money so that you can go to hospital and treat yourself. You make more money so that you can buy a car. Make more money so you can repair your car. Make money so you can pay for value, right? And so when I started looking for someone who could help me to build a platform, if I met you, I mean Victoria, that money I paid those Indian developers back in the days could have gone to you. If I had met Amara, if I had met Divine, Nelma, eBay, Peter, if I had met you and that was the service you could offer, it could just be you, right? So the people that helped me to start building the platform were Indians all the way. They were not in Nigeria, right? I didn't have to meet with them physically, and I paid for the service and they offered the service, right? Um, same applies to every person that is working in my company today. All of them were as a result of one recommendation or another, or maybe I saw the person's value again. Maybe the person uploaded a picture on his WhatsApp status, and I'm like, this person would be good for my company, and I reached out to the person. You understand? Or maybe one or two things I came across the person, and I saw that the person had value, and my money became his, right? So every money I'm making today, I'm dividing it and splitting it based on the people with the highest level of value in my life, right? So the people that offers me the highest level of value takes a bigger chunk of the money, the next and the next and the next, until I have nothing left and I have to look for more money to be able to pay for more values and all whatnot. How do you get a job in the crypto space? Learn, be relevant, right? There are lots of things. This is an evolving industry, and a whole lot is coming up. In fact, you could create a niche for yourself. First of all, what is blockchain? What industry does it fall into? You ask yourself, in this industry, and with what I know how to do, what I studied in school, can I be able to fit into this industry? Can I transition from what I already do into this? you know is this something I want to do? Is this something that I can be passionate about? Because being able to offer value has to do with your own your persona. You're right. It has to do with your drive. It has to do with your passion. Whatever you're doing without passion, the person you're offering the service to will know. I mean, the person don't need to second guess, right? If you don't have passion for something, you will not be able to do it the right way. So ask yourself, is this something I can be passionate about? Everybody must not be traders. Everybody must not be educators. Everybody must not be NFT people. Find something within the space and build yourself to become valuable within that space, right? The moment you've built yourself, sometimes you may need to lock yourself up for a good number of days or weeks. You may need to allocate some good percentage of your time, in a day to build to learn, right? You may need to sacrifice your YouTube, your Facebook and Instagram time and factor in YouTube, sessions into it, factor into it mentorship sessions, get some books, get stuff that will help you to be like an expert per se, right, in that industry. The moment you build yourself to a very competent level within the space, you will become like a light. And one thing with light is that people will start looking for you, right? Even the Bible says that a very small light can cast out darkness, right? And if you light a candlestick in a dark environment, everybody will start walking towards that light because light is attractive. So that's the same thing with value and knowledge. It makes you become like light. And the moment you have that knowledge or that value, the next thing that happens is that you start attracting people of like minds, people who would come together to make it work for you, right? And there's something I like to say. When you have value to offer, be loud and be visible. If you heard that, I want you to type it on the chat box. Be as loud as you can, be as visible as you can. That's why people who are loud get the whole job. You can have value and you'll be like that person who lit your candle and you hid it under the bushel and nobody sees your light. Be loud and be visible. Okay, how can you be loud? I'm going to give you an example. If I say Zazu, all of you will respond Ze. You know why that guy is popular? You know why people are giving him brand ambassadorship? Because he is loud. He mustn't be so clean, right? He may be dirty, he may be disgusting, but he's loud. And businesses are looking for loud people to sign as their brand ambassadors, because when he makes all those his noise, your attention has been drawn. You may not be very much happy with the way he looks and everything, but you have seen in front of you a business that could offer services to you. So be loud about what you do. You're a graphic designer, you can do NFTs. Be loud about it. Don't be righteous about it. Don't stay in your confines and you're just looking at people's WhatsApp status. You say this person posts too much. That guy that posts too much is getting the whole job that would have gone to you, right? You see somebody making videos and saying, I am this, I am that, I can do this, I can do that. You say he's too proud. He's getting all the jobs that would have gone to you. Do it. You may not be proud, but do it in your own way, in your calm way, but be loud, right? If you can be loud visually, and you can make graphic designs and post out. If you don't want your face to be out there, you can make videos, like get people to do video and you can sponsor it. Let whatever you want to do be in the faces of people, right? Let people see that you exist, because that which is not seen, that which is not heard, does not exist. If I don't see you, I don't know you. If I didn't see Peter on this session, I probably would not know or ever know that he exists or that he carries such value, right? So that which is not seen, that which is not heard, does not exist, right? So you may be alive, but you are just existing. You are not living, because nobody knows you. You can be in a session, you can be in a class, you can be in a business, and nobody knows that you exist, and you are like broke. You are complaining that money is not coming. Money is not coming because nobody knows that you could do that thing that you know how to do, right? So be loud, be visible, leave. People should know that you are there. That's the reason why a lot of people, they say, they think, they believe I have the Midas touch. The Midas touch is the guy that anything he touches, turns to gold. I wasn't always like this. I remember when I was timid, I wasn't loud. Nobody knew I was there back in the days. I'm an introvert, but I realized that, I had so much locked up inside of me. And you notice that people that know so much but do not convert those things to money. People that have so much value locked inside of them, but do not convert it to money, they easily get depressed because they keep asking themselves questions. Why me? I know how to do that. It's because you are not loud. Nobody knows you are there, right? So back in the days, I was that timid guy that knew so much, but nobody knew me, right? And then I realized that I wasn't doing so much to get my voice out there, and I started working on how I communicate. This is very key, very important to you. You need to learn how to communicate. You need to learn how to maintain conversation. Personally, I'm a researcher, and so I started researching on a lot of things. I know a bit of everything in fields that don't even concern me, in medicals, in law, in crypto, in tech. I try to learn. When I see new things, I like to learn about them. When I see anything that is of value, those knowledge may not be very much what do you call it, valuable to me at that point in time, but it has entered somewhere in my brain, and tomorrow it may save the day, right? So I started doing all those things, and gradually, it may not happen immediately. It could happen, it would take time, right? But over time, it makes you the total man that you should be, the total woman that you should be. You'll be able to do things effortlessly, and people would think that you're a magician. You are not a magician. You've learned how to become valuable, and you've learned how to show people what you have, right? So eventually, today, like I think it was last month, I did my first ever blockchain event, and everybody was like, "Is this your first event? Like, you are sure you've not done events before?" It's it was that loud, it was that big. I was able to pull the biggest influencers in the blockchain space from all over the world into Nigeria. They attended. I mean, why? Because anywhere, if I walk into a room today, everybody will know I'm there. I won't make noise. I won't do, but of course, somehow your composure, the way you talk, the way you walk, people walk up to me and they're like, "I like you. Why do you like me?" Because there is this thing. So however you can, just be loud. There are some people that their own secret is the way they dress, right? Once they walk into a place, they get people's attention. You could be in a place, 1,000 persons would be there, but everybody would go home, and if you ask them, who did you see there? There are just a few persons they will say they saw everybody, but they noticed a few, because those few had something loud about them, either the way they dressed, the way they talk, the way their charisma, anything. So value, I'm rounding off now. Like I promised, I'm not going to take the whole 45 minutes. First of all, value is money. So value first, money next. No, value first, value next, right? I want you to have that in mind. Value first, money, value next, right? And it's when you have enough value, built up enough value, you know how to communicate, you know how to, you are loud and you're visible. What happens is that you become a moving money. You become money. You gravitate, you attract money. How does it work? I've told a lot of my mentees, right? And I've been saying this since as far back as 6 years ago. Even if you take my phone, those that see my WhatsApp status, I've said it a couple of times. You take my phone, take my laptop, take everything I have, and leave me alive. Come back in the next 1 year, you will see me better than I was when you met me. If you are valuable, you are value yourself. Anything around you could become a tool to the next step, to the next level. Anybody that comes around you is not about what you have. Take my whole money in my bank account, take everything you have. And I'm an embodiment of this thing I'm saying. I've gone from so much wealth before down to nothing, right? Down to nothing. And I've gone, and everybody around me was richer, quote unquote, right? Wealthier, because they could afford at least some luxury that I couldn't afford. As low as living in someone's garage. I'm telling you the truth, right? And I went from that garage to becoming 10 times, 1,000 times richer and better and more valuable to the people that were richer than me at that zone. What happened, right? That's, I wrote a book, Mistakes of a First Time Millionaire. I explained some of these things in that book. So why am I saying this? Value is what attracts value. Because when I say money, I know that the general topic is value first, money next. But why I'm trying to get this into your mind, your head, is that value first, money next. Because money, that cash you have in your bank account, is just receipt for value, right? That's why it comes in different forms. It comes in dollars, it comes in pounds. You could actually have the valuable, have value, and then different forms of value would be coming to you. Those value could come in form of human beings. Other valuable human beings could come to you. So you may not have cash, but you could achieve a whole lot because some certain kinds of human beings are around you, right? Just one call, something that somebody will pay $1,000 for would happen for you for free because it is value. You have actually spent your value currency, right? What do you call it? There are several other forms of value. People's loyalty could come to you just because you have value. There are people that I know, they don't have cash money, they are not wealthy in cash, right? But people respect them and they can command authority and control, right? Just because they know some certain things that those people don't know. And whenever they open their mouth to talk, people come around, right? And I'm running off with this. When you are filled with value, right? The world, the world listens. When you talk, the world listens. You could step into a situation, a place, and talk. Every other person talking, their words will no longer make sense. It become irrelevant just because someone of value in that field. It may not be in every field. That person, that's why you are called an authority in that field. So if that happens, people can pay any amount just so that they can tap into that value. Thank you so much, Victoria, for having me, and I hope I didn't bore you guys.
No, you didn't, sir. Like, that was so much amazing value. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you really, really much. All
You're
right,
welcome.
everybody's getting questions. Let's start bringing our questions. Like Mr. Franklin have done a lot of justice with this topic, and even me like this, I've learned so much. So let you continue. Right, let's bring our questions. See, this is one opportunity to have Mr. Franklin answer your question. See, it's a very big man, and now he's newly married, so he has to go and, enjoy marriage. So this is asking your questions, start putting your questions and all of that. Let's start bringing it. I know some of us have tried to access opportunities in the blockchain space, and I really hope this class did a lot of justice to that. So let's bring our questions. We have like 10 minutes for questions. So ask your questions. Throw your questions. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Wow. All right. So let's drop our questions already. Abi, we are still speechless.
Oh, wow. Someone said he's going to read every book he sees.
Yeah. Seriously, we need this wake up call. Many of us need this wake up call to start doing what we need to do. This thing doesn't come. You don't fall from the sky. You have to do what you need to do, and then everything that you want start coming to you. All right, Mr. Vic, are you raising up your hand?
Yes. Good evening, ma'am.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Victory.
Okay, good evening, sir. Okay, thank you very much. Though I joined the session late, but I've actually gotten something you said, and you made mention of when you have value. Okay, when you have value, when you talk, people listen. But there is this thing in our society where they say that a 4 months contribution is confusion. You understand, something like that. So I think people they don't tend to value people who do not have money. Okay, that's one thing I feel in our society. They don't get to they don't value people who do not have money, even if a person has sorry, does not have a particular knowledge. Okay, but then the person has money, they'll always want to listen to that person. Okay, but then they now sideline the person who doesn't have money, because okay, they sideline the person who has knowledge, because the person does not have money. So how do we balance that? Okay,
Yeah,
how
okay.
do we balance that?
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll tell you something. There is no such a thing as a broke valuable person, a broke knowledgeable person. The problem is that people have head knowledge of some
Okay.
certain things and they think they know stuff. Um, that's number one. Number two is that you are only broke or you are poor or you are perceived in a way that you make yourself like however you perceive
Okay.
yourself, people will perceive you 10 times
See that way.
more, right? If you
Okay.
perceive yourself and you tell yourself that you're broke or you're poor, guess what? When you walk out from your house, I'm going to give it to you as an assignment. Sleep
Okay.
depressed. Tell yourself I'm broke, I'm poor. When you wake up in the morning,
Okay.
say it again. Walk out from your door. Everybody that will interact with you that day will treat you as a poor man. However you see yourself, however you make yourself, people will see you 10 times more. If you continue to tell yourself and act like you are rich, right? You'll be shocked. People will say that you are wealthy, you are richer, like they will see you as 10 times richer, right? So when you are talking and you have that mentality and that mindset, it will reflect in your composure, the way you talk, your poise, your dressing. You may not have the whole cloth. I'll tell you something. Back in the days in 2015, when I started my journey as an entrepreneur, I have a couple of pictures. Once in a while, I do share it on my WhatsApp status and all that. I used to have just one suit, and it was dashed to me by one of my friends, right? I wore that suit like, how do I put it? How Obama would wear his suit he bought last night. Even though I'm wearing it the second time, I wore it like I'm wearing it the first time. I would walk and make myself bigger than I appeared, right? I would have seminars and webinars and I would talk big. And in that poor situation, I had followers in my level. Do you understand? I had people that were richer, cash richer. And that helped me to easily convert those people's cash into my cash because I had value in me that they needed and they were able to pay for it. There was this network marketing platform eventually, online network marketing platform, I did briefly, and I got more than 45,000 persons in my network with that one single suit. Does it make sense? So it's about you. If you perceive yourself as poor and broke, the way you talk will reflect it. The way you answer calls will reflect it, right? Sometimes you don't need to be physical. When you are building up yourself, this is the secret. When you are building up value for yourself, those are moments, those are solitary moments that you must not appear physically everywhere. You can do more of calls, more of webinars and sessions, right? You must not go physically to different places. Once you have that conviction and that mentality, when I'm talking with you on phone, the way you talk will tell me if you are broke or not. If you sound rich, I will greet you, good afternoon, sir. And if you sound valuable, I'll pay for your services without seeing you. Does that make sense? So you could build yourself to that point where you are valuable enough to not even come physically and people are willing to pay you. Then you can use that money to now build up yourself in a way that when you come physically to talk and they look at your Givenchy shoe and all those things, they can now say you are rich. But bro, I've worn brandless shoes back in the days and I still commanded respect. I still made money with unbranded shoes. Do you understand? And unbranded clothes. It's really not. So when people say, when you don't have money, it's not true. I think it's a mentality situation. Thank you. And then someone, sure. Someone asked a question on the chat box. So Frank, please, I want a current answer on this one. With the flock of followers around you, how do you cite and pick talents and values around you? I think I mentioned it earlier that value is like light. You become like a candlestick and there's light on top of your head. You can't be hidden. If you have value, I said it, and you are loud and visible, how do you become loud and visible? Talk about it. Talk about what you do. Every single opportunity you have, talk about it. Secondly, if you have stuff you have done, show it to the world, right? You do something, put it on a link of it on your WhatsApp status. Someone will click on it and see it. You understand? Be doing it once in a while. Push it out. In fact, let it be like, just keep pushing it out, and before you know it, people will know you for that thing, right? Even if they don't subscribe to your services immediately, they will know that there is somebody they know that could do it. At some point, if somebody asks me now, okay, do you have a graphic designer? Now I just said this thing already, like 7 persons' name have come to my head. Why? But in my network, there may be 100 persons that could do it. Why is it that 7 persons in my head now? And even in my head, it has categorized it with the number 1 person, number 2 person, down to the last person I recommend if the other 6 are busy. You know why? Those people were loud, right? So I now know, first of all, those people have that value, and I saw they have that value. Then, because they were loud, I was able to see how good they were, and now I can recommend them. So that is it. If you have value, you really can't be hidden if you are loud and you are visible about it. So even though I have several persons around me, somehow I know that this person does not know so much. This person knows how to do this. This person doesn't know how to do that. But if all of them are silent, they just become WhatsApp contacts, and they make up the audience. All right. So thank you for the session. I've been turning down jobs because of time zones. How do I manage the difference in time zones when it comes to blockchain jobs? Now, if it's a service you can offer or you can render, and you really want to render those services, what you need to do about time zones is to we all have 24 hours, right? In fact, you could actually work in the night just so that you can meet up with such kind of jobs. So what you can do in terms of that is compare that particular job with the one you do during the day, right? There's no rule that is only the day you have to work, right? So compare it with the one you do during the day. If you have more value, if you are more comfortable with that one, that the time zone is your night time, you can actually convert your day into your night, right? You can rest more during the day, do less stuff, rest very well, so that at night you can wake up and be active and do that job. You understand? So it's about, how do I put it, prioritization and time management, and being able to know if it is worth it doing that job. If it's worth it, by all means, shut down some activities during the day, do the ones that you can, rest so that you can now wake up and have enough time to do the other one during the night. So stop turning down jobs, except those jobs are not paying jobs. If they are paying jobs, you can actually manage your time properly. And maybe I'll just answer one last question. I have lots of experience in this space, but don't seem to be getting jobs. What do you think I'm doing wrong? You're not loud, you're not visible. My last question has been asked by. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very, very much. Like, it's really, really an honor to have you here. It's really an honor. So I trust that we're able to get so much value from Mr. Franklin's session. And this is our time is almost up. So thank you so much, sir. Just like the capping the whole 3 days from Monday till now. It's been value after value, and it's been amazing. So, and this session was recorded too. By tomorrow you'll get the recording, so you have to listen to them again and take notes. But please, beyond all this learning, I think God beg you, apply them the way you had it. Like, go the extra mile, spend time, give yourself, like, from now to December, these things must be evident in your life. So this not be a waste. All this time that they brought out, their time is special, very, very precious time they brought out to come and teach you. Let's maximize it. So what do we say to Mr. Peter and Mr. Franklin Peters? What do you say to them today? Because this is how we are rounding up now. All right, so what do we say to them? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It's really been powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And my regards to your wife. My regards to your wife.
Sure, I'll send my regards. Your regards to her.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Sir. All right. Thank you.
All right. So can I leave now? Sorry.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure, sir. You
Right,
can leave now, sir.
God bless you. All right. Have a great one, everybody. Cheers.
All right, sir. Bye, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so everyone, it's been super amazing. Like, oh my God, it's been value overflow from Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday. And this is like an amazing way to close these past 3 days. And seriously, if by December we're not seeing results, we need to come and pray on your head. We need to gather and do prayer session.